Antony offered way out of Manchester United, but will he take it? As there has been reports in the past that he's open to leaving Manchester United. And we know that Manchester United are open to loan and permanent offers for Antony in January, a player they're really going to struggle to get off the books. But what is the latest on Antony's exit? Talking of exit, Toby Collyer has been rumoured with loans, but it's now been confirmed he will be staying put. I think that cameo versus Arsenal may have impressed Ruben Amorim. 70 million for Alejandro Garnacho. Will Napoli pay up? What is the latest on Garnacho's future? And to be honest, I think the reason United are going to demand at least 70 million for Garnacho and put the price tag high is because they're going to likely lose Rashford in the window, and they won't want to lose Rashford and Garnacho in the same January window when there's not many options to replace them. Now, Marcus Rashford is set to be making a decision on his future today. His brother is going to fly to Milan and apparently give them some kind of decision, is what reports have said, that this is the day that Rashford's brother's flying out and making decisions. So maybe Marcus Rashford is making his decision over his future. Will he stay? Will he go? Where will he go? What is the latest on that? Who's putting in the offers for that? Kolo Muani, here we go. Muani is going to Juventus, which means he will not be the Marcus Rashford replacement if we do sell Marcus Rashford. We've got updates on Malacia and we've got updates on Maino's future. So hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to your 10-minute Manchester United news roundup, starting just with the academy. Manchester United have no intention of loaning Toby Collyer this month. Ruben Amorim wants to keep him. I think Toby Collyer is a really good asset to have in the squad in terms of midfield, the legs, the depth. I think that's something that we massively need. We lack those legs in midfield, and he's a profile that we lack. You know, he's not maybe the most technical and beautiful on the ball, but he's a profile that we lack. And he's quite experienced. I believe he's 20 years of age. He's not like 16, 17. He's quite experienced. Older player that can come in, bring the legs, bring the energy. And I think Ruben Amorim has seen that. Maybe next season he gets a loan or he goes out and we bring in some midfielders. But this was one of the highest rated Brighton Academy prospects. And you know how Brighton need to get everything right. And they know about young, talented kids when they see one. So Toby Collyer, his energy, his legs, I'm really excited to see him stay and hopefully get more minutes, because I think in Amorim's system with intensity being so important, he will be seen as maybe more important than Casemiro and Eriksen. He definitely was in the Arsenal game, although we were down to 10 men, so it was about control and legs. Another midfielder, I think if he was fit, could potentially get minutes towards the back end of the season is Sekou Kone, but he is injured, but he's very highly rated midfielder that can cover ground, but he's got a few technical qualities. Now, Diego Leon and Sekou Kone are both seen as high potential young players who should progress to the Manchester United first team. So we brought in Leon, we brought in Sekou Kone. They are academy players that we've brought into the academy because we think that in the next year or two we can slowly progress them into the first team. They're two players that we'll probably look at in pre-season, potentially get a few minutes here and there next season, but it's about sort of just taking a look at them, seeing in the pre-season. They might have a similar season to Toby Collyer this year, Sekou Kone, where we might see him the odd game here and there, but they're still young, they've still got time, but they're seen as sort of players that are almost ready now for first team football, sort of academy type players. You know, Diego Leon's actually playing regular first team football. He's very built, whereas we've got other players in the academy where we rate them highly, but we don't know necessarily if they're first team ready. Obi Martin is expected to be on that list as well. So it's interesting what's happening with the academy, but I want to talk about the outs, because if we want to bring someone in, we need to get someone out. Now, reports are coming out that Antony has been offered a way out of United and moved to Saudi by several player agents this window. One agent promised to secure a Saudi offer, but Antony declined, preferring to negotiate directly with the club. He's considering leaving United. So Antony's declining offers from people saying they can get him a move to Saudi. Now, there is talk saying Antony wants to move and stay within a top 5 league and get his career back on track. I'd like Antony to go to Saudi because I think that's the best way we're going to get some money for him and someone to pay his wages. I don't know if Antony himself wants to go to Saudi, but he's been offered routes to Saudi and ways to Saudi by people, which, while he's considering leaving United, he isn't looking at potentially that route to Saudi just yet. It was said by UOL that Antony is likely to be loaned out this month and has interest from Real Betis and Olympiacos. Antony isn't keen on the move to Greece and sees Spanish football as the best option. Real Betis have a genuine interest in Antony, and that could heat up. Antony's open to the move. It just depends how much of his wages Real Betis are willing to pay. It was also said a number of clubs, including from Spain and Greece, have made contact with Manchester United over a loan for Antony. United will consider offers for the player. So again, United open to offers for Antony to just go on loan. I think they want to get him out off the wage point. If he goes on loan and has a good loan spell, potentially it can get his value and price up because he's just not playing at United. Ruben Amorim and key decision makers at United have earmarked Eriksen and Antony as players who could be sold in January to boost the transfer budget as well, was confirmed by Dean Jones. United want him out. Now, United District reported this last month because a lot of people have been saying, but does Antony want out? Well, he's not playing a lot at United. Ruben Amorim's playing him a bit here and there, but he's not playing a lot. And it was said by United District last month that Antony is unhappy with the situation at Manchester United and wants to hold talks with the club to understand his role going forward. While he remains dedicated to the team, Antony will look to leave Manchester United if the situation doesn't change. I think the fact that United are actively looking for loans for Antony, not even just permanents, but Garnacho at 70 million will sell, but we're not interested in selling. With Antony, it's like, oh, we'll accommodate anything, a loan this, a loan that. I think Antony knows where he stands with Man United, and that isn't very high up. It's not very high up. I think United are very much looking at offloading Antony. He knows that he's open to leaving. I think he's looking for exits out there, but I think he's looking for what could be the best move. I think he still wants to go to a decent club rather than writing his career off and going to Saudi. Now, in terms of big sales, there is talk of Garnacho. Napoli's pursuit of Garnacho remains complicated due to United's 70 million demands, which they've not lowered in recent hours. Now, I think United would accept 60 million for Garnacho, but I think because Rashford's set to go and they're working on offloading Antony, they don't want to lose Garnacho. There's not many replacements out there. He's very young, and United don't know how high Garnacho's ceiling is. We could look back in 3 years' time and say we should have sold him for 60 million. He's not it. Or Garnacho in 3 years' time could be having, that Ronaldo 2008 type season. I'm not saying he will, but he could be having an insane season where we're saying, you know what, we can get 100 million for him now. Like, thank you that we didn't sell him for 60 million. It's one of those that's a bit of a risk. And I think with the other two attackers' priorities to sell, United are only going to sell Garnacho for a big fee, a big price. It was said that Man United sources indicate that a lot of speculation about Garnacho to Napoli is very much agent-driven. And the club are very unlikely to entertain offers for a player unless a high bid comes in. Unless it's a high bid, United aren't interested in selling Garnacho. They're focusing on Rashford and other exits. Now, talking of Rashford, we could get a big update or breakthrough today on Marcus Rashford. AC Milan are expecting a response from Marcus Rashford's brother agent in the next few hours. So it has been said that AC Milan on Wednesday are expecting an answer. And when they get the answer, the deal can potentially progress. It was said that Marcus Rashford's brother has scheduled a meeting with Manchester United for Wednesday ahead of his potential move to AC Milan. So there's a meeting with Marcus Rashford's brother and AC Milan today where Rashford's going to talk about his decision, and it could heat up because AC Milan are willing to pay apparently just over half his wages, and United may negotiate to that. So I think we could get some updates today, but maybe even tomorrow on Rashford's exit. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe because I will give you the latest updates on that. Now, obviously, if Rashford went, there's talk of Kolo Muani coming in and replacing Marcus Rashford potentially on loan. And Juventus have managed to get Kolo Muani. So if Rashford does go, Kolo Muani will not be replacing him. But this has been said on Kolo Muani. Fabrizio's obviously dropped the here we go to Juventus. A deal in place, just a straight loan, no option to buy. When it was Man United, PSG were demanding an obligation or option to buy. Interesting, there's no option to buy. Maybe it could have been an all right one if Rashford had gone because there's no option to buy. And it could have been there for numbers. Who knows? But I think if Rashford goes, surely we'll look at attackers. Obviously, we've been linked to Dorgels of RB Salzburg. In terms of other exits, it was said that Tyrone Malacia could leave Manchester United now in case a good proposal, even with initial loan with buy clause. He's not a top target for Como. Romano said, look, if an offer comes in for Malacia, he could leave United. United are very open to selling Malacia, listening to offers. Romano said, and other journalists touched upon this, saying that Shaw exit in January is unlikely, but United will look to offload him in the summer. Due to Shaw's current injury, there's very little suited for him right now. A lot of teams believe that he's a good player and rate him, but he's one that could likely go in the summer, especially if he's fit in the summer. No one wants to go and buy Luke Shaw when he's injured for the millionth trillionth time. So Luke Shaw and Malacia could both go in the summer, which could mean two wing backs. It really could mean two wing backs. It could be a right wing back and then Delano Majnari becomes backup left wing back. It could be two left wing backs, but I think there'll be a left wing back and I think maybe another right wing back. It was said by Mike McGrath that United's rivals are ready to pounce on January deals to sign either Maino or Garnacho and Rashford, as they believe Ineos will want to avoid a fire sale before June 30th to stay with FFP. We're absolutely fine in regards to staying with FFP. We're not in desperation to sell those players. I think Maino is very safe. He's going to sign a new deal. I think Rashford will go, and I think if Rashford goes, we're quite safe with an FFP. Maybe Garnacho goes if Ruben Amorim doesn't see him as a long-term fit fit the system. But he's so young, he's so raw, he's got so much potential that I think it's quite early days to judge Alejandro Garnacho. But listen, people, that is your roundup of all the latest Manchester United news in the last 10 minutes. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please do go ahead and hit that like button if you did. Feel free to subscribe down below if you're new. I'll probably be back with a video tonight or maybe a live stream, depending on the news, keeping you guys updated, because look, we're halfway through the January transfer window. We haven't done anything, but I believe something's going to happen soon. I believe, maybe I'll be wrong though.